Good evening, musical friends and family. Today is May 11th, 2023, and it is Thursday. I hope everyone had a good Thursday today. Tonight's podcast episode is going to be about the Cinco de Mayo playlist. Now, the Cinco de Mayo playlist holds a very significant, memorable playlist on my channel now. Because this year, for the Cinco de Mayo playlist part 2, we have reached the 1K subscribers during that playlist. It could have happened between the Grunge playlist. It could have happened during the Elvis Presley's playlist. It could have happened during even the Vacation playlist this year in April. But no, it landed during the Cinco de Mayo playlist part 2. So now every year, the Cinco de Mayo playlist will always have a playlist every year on my channel. For now, it is something that's important to me. Now, tonight's episode podcast, we're going to be talking about how at one point, there was not going to be a Cinco de Mayo playlist on my channel because someone told me don't in the past. That's what we're going to talk about. A personal story, if you will. Before the pandemic, I remember I would always celebrate Cinco de Mayo. It was always something that is important to me in my life. Still is. I would listen to Latin jazz, thanks to my dad. He would listen to Pancho Sanchez. Watermelon Man, good song. Bésame Mama, one of my favorites. And many songs he done. Morning. That's a wonderful song too. And who else do I listen to? Santana, gotta have Santana music. Gotta have Selena. Selena's one of my favorites too. Mark Anthony, Jennifer Lopez, Shakira, Gloria Estefan. All those amazing greats that I could really think of at the top of my head. All their music is wonderful. Spanish guitar, that is something I love a lot. I listen to a lot. Now, through the years I would listen to Spanish music and grew love for it. And I remember during the experimentation year, I was doing a few songs here and there. Hijo de la Luna, that was the first song I did for the experimentation year as a Cinco de Mayo song. Then there's also La Bamba, one of my favorites. And during the experimentation year, when I was thinking of doing a Cinco de Mayo playlist relating to Spanish Latin songs and artists of all kinds, a musical family member who was one of my elders told me, you shouldn't do that, or don't do it. And I asked why. She goes, well, I mean, it's not going to get a lot of views, or it's not going to get a lot of attention, or, you know, there's not really that many. And I was thinking, and I said, yeah, there is. There's plenty. Or one of my favorites that one of my musical family members said that, you know, then maybe they might think this, they might think that. So, you know, like she wasn't really encouraged about it. And I was just thinking to myself, what? You know? Then I thought about it at one point, maybe she's right. Allie, don't listen. Come on. Do what you love, you know? And I was practicing other songs during this experimentation year. But I just remember we did Hijo de la Luna, we did La Bamba, and there was a Selena song, practice one. So we only did like 3 songs. And we focused on other songs during that May 2021 experimentation year. So when the 2022 A Song a Day came, in May, we successfully did a Cinco de Mayo playlist. And I consider that the first one. Last year was the first playlist because it was finally a top 10 plus. I think we did up to 15. And even though it didn't get, like what my musical family elder said, not a lot of views, it didn't get much of exposure, or the fact that maybe it was just something, you know, threw people off, but regardless, I still stick to what I love. That was something I hold a passion for me to this day. And I kept, but the fact that even though the views didn't really quite come through, because this is way before I used the shorts. I wasn't using shorts at that time, last year in May. I just remember looking through the playlist and seeing the covers and the piano faded keys, because that's when we started to do the piano faded keys in the music video. And just loved the whole playlist. I would listen to it over and over. Well, each song as it plays the next and the next. And I was really happy I got to fit the song from Kill Bill Volume 2 last year, Malagueña Salarosas. That was one of, at the ending of Kill Bill 2, when Uma Thurman, the bride, reunites with her daughter, and it shows the ending credits. I loved it. Love that song. And then now, the Cinco de Mayo playlist part 2. Yes, the views are a little bit of improvement, and the fact that actually a few videos got over 100, which I was really happy about that. And even though we're not finished with the Cinco de Mayo playlist part 2, we still have a couple more songs left to go. We still got a Santana, Pancho Sanchez. We still got a Selena song coming up, as well as a couple more. And the fact that the 1K musical friends and family came through my channel during this playlist. When now I can't imagine what the musical fam who was my elder, who told me don't do the playlist for other reasons that had nothing to do with what I loved and what I believed in or what I wanted. I'm not too sure how she feels about that now. How I almost listened to her to not put it on my channel because I was insecure about my decisions, or because that maybe I should let people think for me or decide for me. And I thought about it, why would I let people decide what I loved and try to compromise that? I loved Spanish music, and it's been something I love my whole life, and finally I get to express that in practicing piano. So now I'm just still so happy and proud. Now the fact that it came through during a playlist that I was almost told not to do, and I almost listened. And I'm grateful and happy that I followed my heart instead and followed what I love. Not to mention the songs that I couldn't fit for this year's playlist. It's gonna be fit for next year's playlist, for the Cinco de Mayo playlist part 3. And it'll be a very significant playlist on my channel now. Now I think about it, there is a lot of playlists on my channel during the A Song a Day in 2022. During the book, I didn't think I could write but did, book 1. Now I think about it, almost all the playlists last year, people told me, don't do that, do something else. I'm going to explain what that is in the next podcast episode. Well, musical friends and family, I am grateful I followed my heart and I still kept the Cinco de Mayo playlist on my channel. And that will be for every year in May, as long as I can keep going. On another note, I actually just watched the movie Renfield with Nicolas Cage. And, totally off subject, sorry. Yeah, Renfield with Nicolas Cage. Very interesting movie. I loved it. I would watch it again. Actually, because of that movie, I just thought of what theme we are going to go for now for this year's October playlist, part 4. Aha! Because there's a lot of movies, a lot of songs, even anime, for that matter. Ooh, excited. Okay, so we'll talk about that in another podcast. Next podcast, we're going to talk about how the playlist I put on my channel last year, that I almost didn't pick, but did. And I'll even tell you the reasons why, what people tell me why I shouldn't. That's going to be the next podcast episode. Well, musical friends and family, stay safe and stay healthy always, and have a good evening. Bye-bye.